Well, good morning from Cottage Farmstead. I'm Rebecca. My husband Nathan will be joining me shortly, but I thought I'd pick up the camera real quick and show you what we've gotten done since we left off last week. So last week we were telling you we had passed our occupancy inspection, but there are some things that you actually don't have to do for occupancy, like a shower. So we have been working in our master bath in the evenings. It's been pretty dark, not ideal for filming. I thought I'd show you what we've gotten done because it's beautiful. And look at that. The floor is gorgeous. It's a tile that I've had my eye on for pretty much a year now. We stayed at an Airbnb that had that tile and I loved it. It was affordable at Lowe's, so I was very excited about that too. And then this week, we've been putting each panel up on our shower. So we now have all the shower panels up. Nathan grouted it yesterday. And he also got the shower head and handle installed on Monday evening. So we have a functioning shower as soon as we get a shower curtain rod installed. But we have what we need to get clean here. As you can see down here, we are not finished with the floor tile. We still have the spacers in there, and Farmer Nathan's joining me shortly, and we're going to get the tile cleaned up a little bit from the thin set, and then put the grout down today so that it can cure for a few days before we seal it and get the vanity and toilet installed. As you can see, we also did the same ceramic tile in our master closet. We weren't originally planning on doing that, but after some thought, we decided it would probably better have the floor being the same level the entire way across, especially in the early hours when Nathan's kind of fumbling around in the dark. We don't want to trip and stub our toe unnecessarily trying to go between the closet and the master bath. So before Farmer Nathan gets here, I'm going to get all the spacers out of the tile so that we can get started right away. And look who's back!
Weird.
So my dad unfortunately caught COVID right before we had our final inspection, so he's been out and recovering for the last couple weeks, but he is back at it, which is a good thing because it's suddenly freezing outside and our well is not fully insulated. He's out here getting the pipes insulated so that when it gets into the 20s this week, we don't have frozen pipes, because that'd be bad because we just installed all of this. We had temporarily set up a cooler on top of the wellhead just to have something insulated when we had some cooler, frostier temperatures a while back, but that was not going to cut it getting into the 20s.
Where it wasn't totally backfilled around the pipes, I put dirt around there to
Insulate.
help insulate and keep it covered up good. Mother Earth is always best.
And you got insulative tape too?
Yeah, this is a couple of layers of fiberglass with foil on it, and now I'm going to build a little box around it and stuff it with fiberglass.
Should do the trick.
I hope so.
Another thing that we've been up to is getting all of the trash out of here. So Nathan borrowed the Growing Green Family Farms minivan and took a huge load of trash this past weekend, and we actually, we have a deck. Back here, our deck is actually usable. It had gotten so cramped where we could just barely walk through it or do a little tiny project on it. So now it's cleared off, we can start actually using it as a deck. We still have some projects going on, like over here. We have the mantle that we're going to use. We found it free on the side of the road. It's not my favorite mantle in the world, but it was mostly functional. We sanded it a little bit. We're going to put 2 coats of paint on it and put it up for now just so that we have something finished. And then we may either build or buy an antique one in the future, but this will function for now. So we're down in the basement now, and this has been another big project that we've been working on the last 2 weeks, is getting this sorted and organized and cleaned up. So where to even start down here? It's still pretty chaotic. Originally, we planned on living in our old house until this house was pretty much completed and then moved over here. What we didn't factor in when we first started building our house was the housing market starting to cool off because the interest rates are going up and inflation. So things on the house bid got more and more expensive, so we needed the capital that we had in our house available, and we also knew that the housing market was going to start cooling off as well with interest rates going up so high. So we sold and we moved in a hurry. So we did not have as organized of a move as this librarian would have appreciated. We did label the boxes pretty well, but we didn't have a chance on moving day when we had all the helpers here to like put them in specific places. So we had books intermixed with kitchen, with pantry, with tools, with clothes. Like it was everywhere down here. So for starters, my sister-in-law came over and helped me clear off some of our wire rack shelves that we have down here. Cleared them off, we cleaned them up of all the construction dust, and then we were able to unpack what was a significant amount of boxes, was just like canning jars, canning supplies, leftover canned food from prior years, and just some random things that kind of belong in the pantry. So we were able to get all that cleaned up and put up, so that means I could get some boxes out of here so that we can continue organizing. Next up, we had taken all of the tools that we had upstairs while we were building, and we had a tool rack up there as well. We brought all of that downstairs, but it got brought down in total chaos. It was all covered in dust. We couldn't even find stuff when we were looking for it. So I took everything off, dusted it all off, and have it organized by different material types. So we have plumbing and electrical and adhesives and sandpaper, so just each shelf has its own purpose, so we can at least find the category that we're looking for when we need a part. And last Friday, when I had it off from work, my mom came and helped sort some of the boxes down here. So like I said, they were all intermixed, and she helped put anything that we're not gonna need like right away. So books, they can wait. Christmas decorations can wait. Keepsake boxes, they can wait. We have a box of tablecloths that we used at our wedding, that can wait. So all that stuff, don't have to worry about it right now. And that allows us to get to what was underneath a lot of those boxes, which is some of our furniture. So we have a dresser, a chest, and our space heater, and my desk are all over there in the corner. And we couldn't get to them to clean them to get them upstairs. So I can access those to clean them today. And then we put anything that was something that we were going to need more immediately. So like we had packed all of our winter clothes, assuming we were going to be moved in before winter, in boxes. So we got the winter clothes where we can access them because it is very chilly outside today. And anything that's kitchen related we put over in this room because we're probably going to be taking that up pretty soon. As soon as the counters are done, I'm going to be unpacking the rest of that kitchen. And today I'm going to be focusing on trying to get these shelves here cleaned off, so that I can put a lot of our extra kitchen things like baking pans and dishes and stuff that you don't use with as much frequency. I'm going to be keeping them down here for now, and they may end up living down here too if I don't need something except like once a year at Christmas. There's no point in having it upstairs in our smaller kitchen. And look who else arrived.
Hello!
So like I said earlier, got all the spacers out, and he is working on getting the leftover thin set that kind of got all over the place when we were putting the tiles down, scraping up the little bits in the cracks that was a little heavy so that we can focus on getting the grout in later. As you can see behind me here, the counters were bowed when we got them from Lowe's, and then we've been over time misting the back of them, putting weight on them with a board in the center, just trying to get them to start flattening out for us. It did get a little bit straighter, but not quite as far as we had hoped this past week, so we're doing another week of trying to get them nice and straight again. For now, we are using Advantech on part of our countertop, just so that we have a place to work from and have a kitchen sink, but it'll take a little bit longer before I have a fully functioning kitchen. Because of that, we are not going to fully unpack our kitchen into the cupboards because I don't want to deal with all the sawdust that's going to be created when the countertops do actually go in. I don't want to have to re-clean everything that I have cleaned in the basement, brought up, and put in there, and then have to re-clean it all again. So don't want to mess with that. So we are using a bookcase over here as a temporary kitchen cupboard and pantry for some of our more commonly used items, just to have that out and ready. And like I was saying, the Advantech is working just fine. Over here, we've been using it with a towel on top of it for drying off all of the canning lids, as our canning lids and our canning jars were not in sealed containers during this entire construction process. So they were covered in dust and grime, and they were gross. So we've been running the dishwasher pretty constantly while we're here, just to get all this stuff clean so that we can store it for next canning season. Well, I hope you enjoyed a quick look at what we have been working on and what we are continuing to work on right now. In our farmhouse build, we're getting so close to being able to move in. We're hoping to do a partial move in around Thanksgiving, and hopefully the week after Thanksgiving we can get the rest of our stuff from my parents' house and fully move in. We'll catch you next time.